Hello. Hi, people. I have a RU battle here today with my boy Chris. And with that being said, I do have more battles that I will be posting today as well. This is the first of the trilogy, I want to say. And I have a good RU team here against my boy Chris. You can see on the screen, we running Lycan Rock, Jellison, and shout out to Lycan Rock, you'll see in the battle. But Chestnut, Yuxi, Zorak, and Excel Gore, my boy Chris. You're gonna have sticky webs here. I'm gonna be fighting with those sticky webs throughout the battle as he will be leading off with this Galvin Teller. So we will go ahead and get this thing started here. I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the U-turn with the Excel Gore, who is Life Orb. Life Orb Excel Gore is one of my favorite mons to run. I'm actually going to be switching into an energy ball, and I did not want to be switching into that at all because my Lycan Rock is very useful to me in this battle. So I'm going to go ahead and go for an Excel Rock on the off chance that he did want to stay in. And he didn't. He's going to go ahead and switch into his Dolphin, who's going to just take the Excel Rock very well because it is very offensive. And I'm going to be switching into a knockoff and get my Rocky helmet knocked off after he takes a bit of damage from it. He's going to be getting some health back from his own leftovers and switching out there. He's going to go into his Reuniclus. And with that being said, I'm going to go for the Leech Seed just to gain momentum on his switching. Because I can pretty much withstand a 1v1 with this thing as long as I got a Leech Seed up. So he's going to go ahead and switch out his Reuniclus as I bring in my Excel Gore. And at this point, I'm just going to go straight for the Bug Buzz to knock this thing out. And no webs for you, my mans, because I just really hate fighting webs. So I always try really hard to stop that Galvin Teller from getting the webs because it's very important for my speedsters. So he's going to bring in his Weezing there. He's going to go ahead and get up some Toxic Spikes. I'm going to get up 2 layers of spikes, and at this point he's probably going to get up his 2nd layer of Toxic Spikes, which is bad for my team simply because they're going to be taking more and more residual damage from a Toxic when they get infected. So I'm going to just go ahead and get up my 3rd layer of spikes to try to kind of even the hazard rolls out a bit. So I'm going to go ahead at this point and go for a Bug Buzz and get off as much damage as possible before I pretty much just sack off my Excel Gore to the Sludge Bomb there. So I'm gonna go for the I believe I got about 25% health off. So I'm gonna bring in my Lycan Rock here just to get poison, and at this point he's gonna switch in his Dolphin. And I was hoping he didn't switch in Dolphin, but it kind of didn't matter. It didn't really matter at this point. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go for it. The new Z move, the Splintered Storm Charge, which if there's terrain on the field, it actually knocks that out or knocks that down. Let's say if a Tapu joins the field or switches into a Lycan Rock doing this Z move, it will erase that terrain off the field. So I do actually more damage than I thought I would, maybe about 50%. About 50% to the Dolphin there. So I'm going to go ahead and switch out into my Jellison because I don't want him to rapid spin. I don't want him to rapid spin my spikes away. So I'm going to go ahead and switch into my Jellison. But he does make a great play and goes for the knockoff instead and just catches my Jellison off guard as I'm going to have to go for the Scold here and just knocks it out. So he pretty much can come in here and just easily get a revenge kill off on my Jellison as I do only have 5 HP left. I didn't know if it was, even if I wanted to switch out, clearly, I stayed in anyway, but even if I wanted to switch out, clearly he would have caught me by the pursuit. So he's going to go ahead and get his Moxie boost there as I bring back in my Lycan Rock. I was going to go for the Excel Rock here, but I'm actually going to pull a double because I didn't expect him to stay in. So I'm going to go into my Yuxi here, and at this point I can either get up rocks or go for a certain attack depending on what mons he brings in. So he's gonna bring in Weezing. He's gonna bring in Weezing at this point, and I did expect him to switch out, so I just went ahead and got up Stealth Rocks there. And getting up Stealth Rocks is always good, especially if I already got 4 layers of spike or 3 layers of spikes up. So that's gonna be a whole lot of damage his team is gonna be taking every time they switch in. So he's gonna have his Reuniclus out here as I switch out my Yuxi. I'm gonna go right into my Lycanroc, aka my Zoroark, as he goes for the Calm Mind. And I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure he knew this was Zoroark, because my Lycanroc was at low health a while ago. So I'm gonna go for the knockoff here and do a whole bunch of damage and knock off that Life Orb off the Reuniclus. He's gonna hit me up with the Shadow Ball as I get my illusion dropped off. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm pretty much under half HP now, so I can go ahead and go for the U-turn. So that would have gave me momentum anyway if he wanted to decide to save his Reuniclus, which probably did have Regenerator, so that probably would have been a good switch out there if he had something to switch into. Maybe he could have switched into the Honchkrow maybe, but I'm gonna go into, I U-turn into my Uxie. He's gonna bring out his Honchkrow and go straight for the Brave Bird. And he's gonna be taking a whole bunch of damage, recoil damage and Life Orb damage. So I'm just gonna go for the foul play to just see if I can knock him out. He ended up living on maybe about 5 or 6%, so I'm gonna end up going for the Protect here just to get some more leftovers back. I mean, he went for the Sucker Punch, I guess, just thinking I would go for probably trying to survive and not go for the Brave Bird because he didn't want to die to the Brave Bird maybe. But yeah, so he's gonna go for the Brave Bird there and knock himself out as I go for the Protect. I went for the Protect just to make sure I had enough health to survive. So he's gonna bring in his Lantern here, and I believe if I had more health, I maybe could have 1v1 this thing, but I just went for the Side Shot just to get as much damage off as possible as he went for the Skull to knock me out. And at this point, I can bring back in my Zoroark to revenge kill this Lantern here. So I'm gonna go for the knockoff here and knock off its item, which was leftovers, and knock him out as well as he brings in the Weezing. As he brings in the Weezing here, I'm going to go for a knockoff again just to get off as much damage as possible. Like I said, I don't really have a lot of offense actually left on this team, so he's going to go for the Sludge Bomb and knock out my Zoroark. I'm going to end up bringing in my Chestnut here. And my Chestnut, I can pretty much go ahead and go for the Leech Seed, because my last mine is that Lycanroc, so I really don't have a move to really hit this Weezing with. And I knew he pretty much had the Pain Split, so it was going to be kind of a battle between these two mines here of who can outlast each other type deal. So I'm going to end up going for the Wood Hammer here, just because I actually wanted to go for the Wood Hammer just so I can keep taking recoil damage, and every time he goes for a Pain Split, it really wouldn't matter, or not matter, but he wouldn't get as much health back as he would if I went for another attack. I forget my other attack, I believe it was Drain Punch, so if I was trying to 1v1 and win, then I would have probably went for Drain Punch just to get back more HP. But I pretty much just want him low enough to where my Lycanroc here, which is my last mine, can come in here and actually revenge kill him. And luckily, I do not miss my Stone Miss, aka Stone Edge there, and I actually knock out that Weezing. And I actually survived a very close battle with my boy Chris. Me and Chris have a bunch of close battles all the time. I actually have to sit there and focus when I play Chris. So yeah, that was the quick battle for today. If you did enjoy that, hopefully I narrated a bit better. I know my last one, it was at like 1 a.m. in the morning, and I was kind of tired, and I really didn't like it. I probably should have did it over, but whatever type deal. So yeah, if you do like this one, go ahead and hit the like button, as it will help out everything. And with that being said, see you guys next time, and I believe that's it. So goodbye.